Hey friends, welcome to episode 2 of Hustlers. We're going to be talking about something that's really important and near and dear to my heart today. But before we get started, I just want to talk to you guys about a prediction I have for 2026. And this is not a market prediction. I think that this is going to be a huge year for pop music, particularly for males. And I'll tell you why. I feel like this started in like 2025. Scott Galloway put out his book about notes on being a man, which I've heard is great. I have not read it yet. And I also just feel like the girlies in pop have been crushing it. Like Breener, Taylor Swift, the Olivias, you name it. Billy Strings also just finished recording his most recent album, and he said it's his best one yet, which I'm so excited about. And I've also seen him kind of change as a musician as he's become a father. And I just feel like we're like in this space where we want to give men more opportunities to give and receive love. And I feel like that's coming to us through music. So this week I could not stop listening to Aperture, the new Harry Styles song, and The Great Divide, which is the new Noah Kahan song. Oh, and how could I forget Bad Bunny winning the Grammy? I have not stopped listening to the album since he won the Grammy. I'm recording this the weekend of the Super Bowl. I'm so excited for the halftime show. I know he's gonna put on something great. When you guys are listening to this, we'll know who the Super Bowl 60 champs are. I think highlighting Noah Kahan is a good segue into announcing who this week's guest is, because I saw a Noah Kahan concert with this woman 2 summers ago at the Hollywood Bowl, and it was one of the best shows I've ever been to in my life. The Hollywood Bowl is such a cool music venue. If you're ever in LA, I highly recommend checking it out. I love John and Vinny, so we actually picked up John and Vinny's, brought John and Vinny's into the Hollywood Bowl, saw the Noah Kahan concert, and it was one of the best nights ever. So without further ado, my oldest and best friend is today's guest. Her name is Haleigh Youtie. She is a producer in Hollywood. She's our big star girl. Haleigh's family started an incredible foundation in memory of her trailblazing mother, Eileen Youtie. Foundation has done a ton of research around genetic predisposition syndromes, and they want to be a resource to help with education around preventative cancers. I want to talk about the word impact because I think it drives people to make really meaningful choices in life. And I'm here to tell you that checks aren't the only way to make an impact. If you're driving, eyes on the road. But if you're not, I invite you to either close your eyes or just take a deep breath and think about someone who you really care about in life. Think about one of your loved ones. This can be a parent, a sibling, a spouse, a child, a friend, and think about their heart. And let's say you could put your hand very softly and gently on their heart and leave a little bit of a handprint. What would that handprint be filled with? Would that be filled with really fun memories of traveling together? Would that be filled with really great advice that you were able to give that person? Would that be filled with time? Just quality time that you spent with that person when maybe they needed a little bit of extra loving. Nothing I mentioned has to do with money. And I just want everyone to know that they can have a huge impact on their communities and the people around them just by donating time, being present, offering support. I feel like the past couple months, the world has been crazy. And it's really nice to ground yourself in knowing that you can have a huge impact and make the world a better place just by existing and just by being you. There's definitely a financial component to having impact and giving. And I'd like to speak about that specifically through the lens of donating to charity. If you are charitably inclined, there are a number of ways to give your donations tax efficiently. And if you're going to be making an impact, why not do it in the most efficient way? I want to highlight 3 benefits of charitable giving from a tax standpoint and investments. The first is taking the charitable deduction. The tax codes have changed a little bit this year, and whether you are an itemized deductor or a standard deductor, you actually can take a charitable deduction this year. So if you're giving any money to charity, I highly recommend keeping track of that because you can deduct a portion of that when you're filing your taxes later. Another tax efficient vehicle you can use is called a donor advised fund. So what a donor advised fund is it's essentially a brokerage account. It's a much more simplified version of a foundation. You can put money, you can put cash, you can put appreciated securities into the donor advised fund. That money can then be invested and grow tax-free, similar to a retirement account. And then you make grants to the different charities. So I can make a donation into a DAF this year and choose to let the monies grow and then make recommendations to grants later on in life. This is a really great option if you're charitably inclined and you have highly appreciated securities, because you can sell the highly appreciated securities, diversify your portfolio, and not have to pay capital gains tax. So high level, let's say I bought a stock at $10 and now it's $50. If I were to sell that stock, $40 of that would be considered gains. If I instead wanted to give to charity and I wanted to use a donor advised fund as a vehicle, I could move the appreciated stock into the donor advised fund and then sell the stock and not need to worry about capital gains tax and get that reinvested and diversified so I can grow in the market and compound over time. The third is qualified charitable distributions. This applies to folks who are over 70 and a half. If you contribute to an IRA, when you get to a certain age, you're going to have to take a required minimum distribution. These required minimum distributions, if they're in traditional IRAs, are usually taxable income to you. If you make the donation directly to a 501c3 charity, it's reduced from your income. So if you're 70 and a half, it's a great strategy to explore. Eileen was a second mother to me. She was the most phenomenal woman on planet Earth. She used to spend so much time giving back to the community. She was a mentor for young women at my high school. She made everyone around her feel so good. We unfortunately lost her about 5 years ago to breast cancer, but a lot of the decisions I've made in my life have been with her being my guiding light, and I miss her every single day. I'm so proud of Haleigh and her family, watching them build this foundation and really put so much effort into making a difference in the world. Eileen said that if her experience could just save one life, then it would have all been worth it. And they're doing so much more than that. Haleigh's amazing. Her whole family is amazing. I can't wait for you to learn a little bit more about the Eileen Youtie Foundation, about charitable giving. At the end of the day, I just want you to always know that you have impact in everything you do, in the choices you make, in the relationships you have. And just to hold myself accountable, I did not ask Haleigh to say hustlers, but we'll see if maybe she can send us a little voice note and I can add it in. But if not, Haleigh is a beautiful example of what it means to be a strong woman. She is a hard worker. She is fierce. She will tell you how she feels. And I can't wait for you guys to get to know her. As always, if you have any questions about charitable giving, about the Eileen Youtie Foundation, I'll make sure to include some links to helpful resources. Reach out to me. I'm your financial girl. If you want to talk about the future, if you want to talk about making an impact, and if you want to talk about efficient ways to do that, I'm always here as a resource. Thanks for watching. Hey, everyone.
Hey, guys.
This is my best friend, Haleigh, and we've been spending the week together in Aspen, and we've been so excited to make college together because we don't live in the same state, so we don't get to do this that often. So, Haleigh, as I get started with the flower, do you want to talk a little bit about the Eileen Youtie Foundation and how incredible of a woman your mother was?
Of course. So, my mom, Eileen Winkler Youtie, passed away from breast cancer, born out of a BRCA1 gene mutation almost exactly 5 years ago today, who was not only my mom, but was also extremely close to Sydney and also worked in accounting. So there's a financial connection as well.
Eileen was my second mom, and she was the best person ever, and so many amazing memories were created in this kitchen with her.
You're going to make me emotional.
Your mom would be very proud of this moment,
my God,
I think.
I agree. So she not only had breast cancer, but she was such a trailblazer and an advocate for other people who were dealing with cancer. For the most part, it was people with hereditary predispositions, which BRCA and a lot of other hereditary cancers affect the Ashkenazi Jewish community, which we are a part of, and she was a strong advocate for. But she also helped those dealing with all types of cancers, whether it was helping them find the right doctors, holding their hand while they were getting chemo, or going wig shopping. So without her here, my brother and I decided to set up a foundation in her honor. Our big mission is to educate those with genetic predisposition syndromes, prevent hereditary cancers, and provide support to those dealing with cancer and their loved ones. We really wanted to target it at the hospital level, my mom was very aware that she had advantages to be able to travel all over the world to get different types of treatments. And the big goal of ours is providing treatment to those, all done through insurance. So we partnered with Sylvester Cancer Center, which is where my mom was treated, and specifically her amazing doctor, Dr. Carmen Kalfa. And so we set up the Eileen Youtie Predisposition Syndrome Initiative. I know it's a mouthful, so you can also call it the GPS Clinic, short for genetic predisposition syndromes. And it's a first of its kind coordinated cancer care at a hospital, which means that there are so many types of amazing cancer doctors or other types of doctors, but they really only have time to help you with that one specific thing. So what we were able to do is we hired genetic counselors to get people tested hopefully before they have cancer, or if there's someone that does have cancer, we can get your family tested for hereditary disposition syndromes. And we also hired advanced nurse practitioners, which we love to say can kind of hold your hand throughout the process. They're there for you every step of the way. And if you decide to use the doctors at Sylvester Cancer Center, the advanced nurse practitioners can even go so far as making every appointment for you, helping you no matter what type of hereditary cancer you have. For example, BRCA can not only affect your breasts, but also your ovaries for men. It can affect different types of your body. And you also need help with family planning. And that's all like a 360 that the advanced nurse practitioners can help you with. We hired a psychiatrist because we know the mental load for you and your family can sometimes be just as difficult as the physical load. We're huge advocates for educating people, especially people who are around me and my brother's age. Starting at age 25, that's when you can get tested for hereditary cancers, which hereditary cancers are not the most common form, but they're the only types that are preventable. Specifically, people in the Ashkenazi Jewish community, in the French Canadian community, in the Black community, we're all super susceptible, and there's not a lot of education around it. It's also not on your normal genetic testing panel, so it's something that you have to ask your doctors about. Our biggest mission right now is to fundraise for our GPS clinic so that we can continue to treat our over 1,000 patients, which the fact that we're able to treat that many people in under 3 years is incredible, and help educating people. And sorry, I know I've been going on for a long time.
No, that's amazing to learn about.
Thank you. But the last thing I'll say is this really comes from the heart and soul of my mom. Luckily, my brother and I were tested for hereditary cancers, as was my dad, and we don't have any. But we've been privy to so many people who are. And even when she was battling breast cancer, she always said that if she was able to save one life after being diagnosed, it will have been worth it. So the fact that we've been able to help over 1,000 people, I know she would be so proud of us. Fundraising is hard.
It sure is.
No matter the cause, and no matter how much someone like me talks at you.
Well, your mom's doing, you guys are doing such amazing work in honor of your mom. And it was amazing growing up around someone so charitably inclined, because I feel like it made us want to do what we could do to give back. And I know you spoke about getting tested for BRCA and not having, which is amazing, but we'll make sure to share some information with everyone about the color kits.
Yes, so there's an amazing color testing kit. This is a really easy spit test that has the return label on it. And not only does it test you for BRCA, it tests you for hundreds of hereditary cancers. And it's just a really easy thing and can help you prepare for your future. And I know it's scary, but knowledge is power.
I think knowledge is power. And I think that's a great segue into talking a little bit about the
financial knowledge.
The financials of giving money to charity. So in an effort for me not to multitask too much, would you like to get your hands all up in this?
Would I like?
Sourdough?
No. Will I do it for you and my mom? Yes.
So if you feel like it needs a little more flour, a little more water, you can kind of go back and forth.
Okay.
It comes from the heart. Again, we're doing Adina Sussman's challah recipe. It's her honey sesame recipe, if anyone wants to look it up. So I'm going to talk to you guys with my messy hands about 3 main ways that you can hopefully benefit from a tax perspective from giving to charity. The first is taking the charitable deduction. Up until 2026, if you were doing the standard deduction, which is the more common way people take tax deductions, you could not deduct for giving to charity from your taxes. Starting in 2026, you can now deduct up to $1,000 per individual. It's a $2,000 maximum if you're married. And what that means is that if you give up to $1,000 in cash to a 501c3 charity, you can deduct $1,000 from your taxable income. Two other really strategic ways that you can donate to charity and hopefully save a little bit in your pocket is QCDs and DAFs. I'll break those two down. QCDs are qualified charitable distributions. Qualified charitable distributions are ways that you can take advantage of taking from your RMD, which is your required minimum distribution, and giving it to charity without needing to pay income tax. So once you reach a certain age, 72 or 75, you're required to take a minimum distribution from your IRA, which is your retirement account. Typically, when you take distributions from a traditional IRA, they're considered taxable income. If you donate directly to a 501c3 charity from the IRA, you're able to deduct it from your income. What is a donor advised fund? It's an extremely simplified version of a foundation. The way donor advised funds work is you can move securities or cash into accounts, invest them in the market, let them grow tax-free, and then eventually recommend to make grants.
All right.
Okay, I think this looks good.
Like to be done?
Well, no, you just have to mix it together a little bit.
Okay.
Gotta give it love. Give it some Eileen love.
I'm putting my whole body into it. Okay, you can keep talking. So sorry.
I think it would be nice to finish off this video on a really sweet story about your mom.
But you want me to tell?
No, that I want to tell.
Oh, okay.
That happened in this very kitchen.
Oh my God. Okay.
So it was during COVID. Me and Haleigh and our two other best friends, Yana and Erica, came to Aspen. And it was crazy times. It was when, I don't know if anyone remembers hiking during COVID, but you had to put like a bandana or a mask over your face, and people would be hiking and just cross over each other, like not to interact. Anyway, I think it was a pretty crazy time. A lot of people were scared about the future. And it was actually, I think it was Shabbat. Maybe it was a Saturday night, but I really think it was Shabbat. And we were sitting with Eileen, and Eileen was, I think, a role model for everyone, but particularly for young women, because I feel like she was so career focused and always wanted to give back. And we sat her down and we were talking to her about all of our dreams in life and excitements in life and everything like that. And she really calmed us down and said not to rush anything and to just enjoy the moment we're living in and the beautiful friendships that we have, because we have time to accomplish everything, and just to take in the moment and be present. And that's just something I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Oh, thank you. I would hold your hand, but.
All right, the project.
Before we go, can I just throw out a few more BRCA facts?
Please.
Or hereditary
We're in no rush.
Okay, well, I'm gonna wash my hands first and then come back. There's so much dough. I'll just spit a few hereditary predisposition facts at you. Specifically for BRCA, which is the hereditary cancer that I'm most familiar with, as it affected my family and is super connected to Ashkenazi Jewish roots, hence the connection to our challah making on Shabbat. You have the same likelihood of getting BRCA from your mother and your father, which is 50%. So I know a lot of women, they know that their mother got tested and they think they're in the clear, but you're not. It also can affect men. Please still get tested if you're a man. If you want to learn more or come to any of our events for the Eileen Youtie Foundation, we are based in Miami. We're having our 3rd annual Eileen's Legacy fundraiser to commemorate the 5-year anniversary of my mom's passing and celebrate all we have accomplished, but most importantly to fundraise. And it's a shopping bazaar and a fundraiser with speakers that's full of all of my mom's favorite things. Email at eilenyoutie.com, and it's EILEENYOUTIE for any information, or go on our website, eilenyoutie.com, or our Instagram at Eileen Youtie Foundation. So
Eileen was the #1 fashionista, so you bet there will be some great things that you can buy at the bazaar. And most importantly for us finance girlies, she was the best at finding things at sale.
That's true.
She was a discount queen who always looked like a queen.
And who cared about her finances, was a huge donor. So we are a 501c3, and we just take donations off the bat.
Amazing.
So thanks.
Eileen, I love you and I miss you. Thank you for giving birth to my best friend and the most amazing girl ever. And this challah is made in your honor. And we love you.
We love you. Shabbat shalom and subscribe to Sydney's Substack.
Shabbat shalom!
Woo!